Massive Incursions Bug affecting players claiming rewards. 6-star Medusa enters the game via a deal. Stealth Suit Spidey goes low. Abom goes high in Arena. And will we see a Summoner Appreciation Calendar in 2021? Yes, hello everybody, welcome to the Marvel Contest of Champions news show for Monday. There is so much to talk about in this edition, so make sure, as I usually say, hit the like button and subscribe with post notifications on all, because it's all juicy stuff, especially as this is going to be update week and a lot of info when it comes to what's happening next month is going to drop. So make sure to support the channel. I've got some really spicy, interesting videos this week as well. But before we go anywhere, thank you so much to those that support the channel here on YouTube as YouTube members. Thank you. Patreons as well. You're on screen now. Thank you so much for keeping the love and support and allowing me to do this as a full-time gig. Also, those that support on the Purple brand, where I do all my live streaming. If you have Amazon Prime and want to give a free sub, you can do, following the links in the description or just coming on by. I put a Twitter notification. I'm on Twitter, by the way. If you didn't know, I'm on Twitter. We've got the Discord of 3,000 members. So thanks very much, everybody. And we'll be chatting later on, and I'll be live streaming some Act 7.2.2. Right, let's kick off with a little bit of notification and information. If you need something to listen to for about 45 minutes to an hour, then we've got you covered with the Contest Round podcast. Myself and Dan of Frontline MCOC, we try to once a week meet up and do a little podcast. This week we're talking about Act 7.2, AQ Officer Tools, and very expansive coverage of various different things. Make sure to go and give it a listen. Okay, now let's move on and talk about 6-star Medusa. 6-star Medusa has been put into some deals over the weekend, and it's been surprising the interest with this. I love Medusa, even under the current state of the game, current meta, whatever you want to refer to it. I still like breaking out Medusa to take on either robots or taking on some content where I want to do a load of armor breaks or debuffs very quickly based on easy rotation. But at the same time, there is the question, like, what other champions are there still yet to be seen as 6-stars? And that's the thing, there's a lot. You know, we've got Dr. Voodoo, that is teased actually in here as being a placeholder character. Blade, Stark Spidey, I think even Magic is amongst the, I could be wrong, Quake for sure. So there are a lot of champions still yet to go into the 6-star pool. I'll probably do a video on that at a later date. However though, it did get people interested and spending when it came to the idea of, hey, there's a Medusa, let's go try and get her. Now sometimes Kabam do choose to put these into the pools for the 6-star featured, if you are looking at them. The same thing with the 5-star featured with champions like Black Bolt Gamora, Joe Fixit, that weren't in the 5-star pool but now are, or kind of in for special reasons, if you know what I mean. So we really hope to see certain champions in the future. Okay, let's talk about Parry Curse now. So whilst the sequence is still in effect for Alliance Quest, I've seen a few people talk about Parry Curse having an issue. So this player says, myself and at least one other teammate had no Parry Curse after the first fight. Then a few fights later, doubled up. This causes a real problem if you count on that 0% into your next fight. Cost me 4 timeouts to go reset, and the issues that were bug related and not play related. And a lot of people are then saying exactly the same thing. And it's kind of weird. I even kind of raised this with Kabam, funny enough, and I haven't had any response, which is kind of annoying because the line of inquiry should hopefully be that if I say to Kabam, look, have you seen this forum thread? Have you looked into it? And I heard no response. A bit disappointed with that. So Zygon says again, went in again, first fight through, next fight looking at the curse 2-2 remaining, like it should. Following fight, it's not there anymore, so I have to fight without parry on one I had planned to be able to parry though. So that's the thing. Sometimes you rely on the kind of the sequencing of things, and more players are saying exactly the same thing. So the Mandalorian here is saying exactly that. You got ANX saying, I have also had this curse issue. It says 2-2 fights remaining, but only last for 1 fight. And again, same thing. Xandarin is actually in our alliance, so probably experienced the same thing. I didn't notice it, but the problem with me in Alliance was I just go on autopilot. I don't know if anybody else is the same when they kind of do stuff in game. They're kind of very autopilot, where they're just like, yeah, swipe, get the fight done, go to bed, do something else, leave it, and then kind of like come back to it. So I didn't really notice it, but that's not to say it's not happened, and I would like Kabam to respond, especially because again, it's not just about me. It's not just about some players not experiencing it. It's about players that are experiencing and what they're seeing. So yeah, make sure if Kabam are watching, respond to that message I sent through, and as well come and have a look at what's going on with this. Especially because it's annoying because it's the end of sequence now, and it's coming to the end of sequence. You just kind of think, well, there's going to be some alliances doing this, so it just needs to be sorted and looked into. And especially if this is the last time before we have a change in alliance quest, that they deal with it long term as well, so it doesn't happen again. Okay, we've got to talk about incursions now. So many people have reached out, messaged me about an incursions bug. This particular bug is very obscure, really, but it seems like something's just really jiggled about, and you kind of think, like, how does that stuff end up happening? Either way, some players says two things. Now, tier 1 in incursions, but I only have 1 6-star, not the 8+ required. Also, I did milestones, and I can't collect them because they are all saying pending. Seems very obscure, very weird, especially to say, like, okay, well, how did I end up jumping a tier? Because sometimes you may not have the roster that's applicable to do it. And again, same thing, the new Incursions bug is now moving tier 2 players to tier 1 and changing the milestones accordingly. Please fix make it a quick fix here, yeah. So yeah, like this is the example here. They have got 1 6-star where they should be in, and they're in tier 1 but maybe they shouldn't. So yeah, it's all very weird. The same thing with the milestones. And yeah, it gets further strange when players are able to achieve this and grab what they need to do to then find out that it's all pending. Yes, that's right, it's all pending. You can't get your rewards even if you're grinding them because it says pending. So there's some crazy whole host of rubbish just going on with this. Kabam Lotto says something about evidence, images, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you can see what's happening up above, and that's just completely batshit weirdness. Now, this stuff dropped over the weekend. The biggest problem is I think there's some sort of like Canadian holiday today, which does present an issue of Kabam acting on and dealing with a lot of this stuff. So it could mean that the players won't get an answer until at least tomorrow or even Wednesday. So that sucks if that is indeed the case. It would be good if Kabam could answer against this. And going down, the same problem kind of like occurs here, where players trying to acquire things that they are now in the tierage, so therefore they can access. No. It's not the case. They can't do that whatsoever. You can see right here, someone trying to acquire 6-star, I would say 6-star shards, even though they've been kind of put into this new tier. So yeah, oh man, there's a whole host of things going on. And so far, if we scroll down, I don't think there's any response here. Players are still waiting to get there. Like, this messes up people for incursions. In a nutshell, that's what it does. You want to do incursions, it messes things up. Check your tiering. If you feel you're in the wrong tier, then I'd probably say, and that's the unfortunate thing, maybe avoid incursions. Or do it and then kind of Kabam have to compensate. Your choice, but it's like, I don't know. You look at situations in the last 2 weeks of like things that you think we get compensated from Kabam, and we haven't. So I wouldn't kind of like hold my breath on that one, because I just don't think that's going to happen. Either way, no answer so far. As I said, it's a holiday today. I think it's a Canadian holiday, so expect Kabam not to be in today and possibly in tomorrow. But yeah, if you see this, make sure to go and do it, Kabam. Sort this out. There's some players affected by this weird bug. Now, one thing that I did want to talk about is the Summoner Appreciation Calendar. I've received a few messages about covering this, and I feel that it's kind of apt to do this, especially because we are drawing closer than you think to when it drops. This is from 2019, and again, shifts in meta of what is normally there. And we're going to talk about that in a second, especially with, see, right down the bottom here, there's no substantial 6-star shards. In 2019, of course, the game was not really kind of giving out that stuff. But nowadays, and especially what we saw in 2020, it's a very different ballgame. You'll note that the start date is indeed July, so likely it will be very early in July that we see this, and it will be probably a complete surprise, or will be towards June that this will be announced. This is a very good time to keep people loyal and interested in the game. Summer months, you find a lot of games developers putting out content, especially because a lot of people are kind of more inclined to go out, enjoy the sunshine, enjoy fresh air and exercise, or stay at home and play video games until your head pops. You have a gamer dent in your head, and you are lacking in vitamin D. You choose what you want to do with your life. But let's kind of like face facts here. The spiciest stuff always seems to get towards the end. Is a good example here. In 2019, 5-star shards, 1 fully formed tier 2 alpha, and well, two fully formed tier 2 alphas, and a 5-star awakening gem were the only things that seemed to be of spice and value. And yeah, some other 6-star shards, but it wasn't spicy enough. And flash forward a spicy year to last year, 2020, which saw a larger amount of units, a larger amount of 5-star shards, 1 fully formed tier 2 alpha, but there were multiple ones throughout the time, the sequence of the calendar. Tier 5 basic of a larger volume. Do bear in mind they'll probably have to do a larger volume in 2021, based on, again, kind of meta shifts and other stuff like that. A 5-star awakening gem, 5,000 6-star shards, and in a plethora of extended and improved day by day improvements in the 6-star shards. So that's a lot better than what we saw in 2019. So if I was to pick, and I probably will do a full dissection and as well predictions to these kind of things, but I would say they'd either be similar, if not a smidge bit better, when it came to what we'd get in a Summoner Appreciation Calendar 2021. It's a no-brainer for Kabam because it just does well by the community to release it. They've released it in 2019, 2020, and I think if they don't do it, it would be something that players would note, especially players that want to feel loyal to the game to get something back for their loyalty of logging in each and every day and grinding in the game. So do I think this is going to return back? Yes. If it doesn't, I wouldn't. If I was Kabam, I would definitely put it back. I wouldn't like not put it back. Like it's just, it needs to come back. It needs to come back. Otherwise, you know, free stuff. Where's my free stuff? And again, to repeat to people, as I said at the start of this segment, this is likely to return back in July of 2021. So expect it the first week, maybe even midway through, because that's something to point out as well. It's normally around about there, start to mid, that you'll see the Summoner Appreciation Calendar. And now on to arena results and predictions. All my predictions for round 2 are down below, and they are based off of the results. So that's something as well. Getting a handle on where these arenas are going is very difficult. I'm not going to throw shade at people for inflating arena points, because at the end of the day, they're competitively trying to go for stuff. But I do feel there's been some ridiculous over pushing on things, especially if you compare with how Immortal Abomination has gone compared with the stealth suit Spidey featured. It's oh yeah, batshit crazy. So first of all, I want to give a shout out to the Discord. Thanks to everybody that comes to arena results on a Sunday night, or kind of like when the results come in and pops them into arena results, because what it means, I can then put together a table, which I'm going to see in a minute, which has like a breakdown of results. Unfortunately, there's not been much when it comes to Stealth Suit Spidey Arena. That's been the issue really, but apart from that, as I said, like get them in early, send them over. If it's kind of after I do these things, and it's not really of help for me to do the predictions around it. So as soon as you get them, pop them in. I only need them on Sunday. That's it. I only need them on a Sunday. If you can do that, that's great. Or yeah, you can put them in for other times. It does help other players out. So yeah, go for it. But for the purpose of this, yeah, Monday, I like to do this and have it ready. So Stealth Suit Spidey, position 94, 41 mil. I kid you not. That's an accurate result. Mad. The 5-star, 25 mil for 483 position. This is why I've gone with Stealth Suit Spidey's 50 mil for round 2 prediction, Stealthy 5-star 30 mil prediction. I just think that works together. Summoner Trials, I'm kind of just leaving the same, as it's not something I overly care about, but you know, again, for other players, I do this, and I did get for 2.1 mil 1 to 10%. So again, use that, take that with a pinch of salt. But then the Immortal Abomination, man, a lot of stuff to go on there. Position number 1 was got with 170 mil. Thanks to everybody that sent through results again. 105.2 mil. Position 99, got the 6-star. Again, I'm not going to like go at people for inflating points, especially because I know people wanted to get Immortal Abomination. I just feel like this is like causes a problem, especially if we can have really decent times with this. But then again, it's going to be this. But look, it's a competitive based thing. It is what it is, and I'm sure that people will adapt to it. As someone that cares more about the milestone side of things, which again we're going to be doing a video on that later on, based on some things that I've been doing in order to kind of do some tests on this arena. We'll talk about that later on. The 5-star position 471, 35.4 mil. 25 mil got the 1 to 5%, 20 mil got the 6 to 10%, 16.5 11 to 30%, which is the 1,000 5-star shards, and 250 6-star shards. FYI, I did a grind myself, and again, this is the reason I'm talking about that is because there's going to be a very important video dropping as the second video of today about arenas 2 weeks on and the implications and impact. I did personally 12.06 mil and picked up the same, so that's good. That gives you an idea of like, okay, well if you did that, you can save yourself a little bit of time, depending if you want milestones to do a little bit less. And anyway, that has been Marvel Contest of Champions news, your arena results, and everything else that's going on in the community. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button. Check out some other content here. Stay tuned for a very important arena video dropping later on today, and have a good one, whatever you're doing. Bye bye.